Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's had a great week so far. It's finally the weekend, guys. It's Friday night. It's the night before the game. It's time for your match preview ahead of Wolves against Leeds United, taking place at Molineux tomorrow afternoon. Another Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff for the Whites as we travel to Wolverhampton in the hunt for 3 points. Fingers crossed. Just before we get into the stream properly, guys, please smash that like button. It really helps get the video out there. Please, if you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. I'd like to hit that as soon as humanly possible. So please help me out if you're brand new to the channel and get all of your comments in the live chat. As we go. And obviously hit that notification bell as well. As I said, hope you've all had a great week. It's time to stress about Leeds United now, guys, isn't it? As I say, quietly confident going into this one. I can't lie. I feel like both teams are obviously in similar situations in that bottom 8 teams at the minute. Obviously, Wolves did the sensible and smart thing and sacked their manager early with plenty of time before the World Cup. And obviously they got Lopetegui in, who's got really good pedigree and experience. And obviously he has helped sort them out a bit, but obviously they're still within that sort of bottom 8 teams who are in this relegation battle, this very unique relegation battle at the minute as well. So yeah, obviously we'll get into the video in a little second. We've got a few comments dropping in. Bobby Phillips need this win big time. Yep, 100%. Joseph Williamson, Palace, Sunday the 9th of April, BT. I thought the Palace game was on the Saturday night, the 5:30 kickoff. That's what I thought anyway. Manjeet's in the building. How we doing, my friend? Hill Football. All the regulars are starting to join now. How we doing, mate? I hope you're all good. So yeah, obviously we'll speak about Wolves just briefly first. Obviously, as I was just saying there, I think the new coach for them has obviously improved them slightly. Obviously, under Bruno Lage, they lost the first 4 or 5 games of the season, I believe. Obviously, first one against Leeds United at Ellen Road as we beat them 2-1. They've scored 20 goals all season compared to us. I think we've scored about 37, 38. So they're not big goal scorers. I know that could come back to bite me on the backside come tomorrow evening. But they are low scorers in this league. So I do think it'll be a tight game, whatever the outcome. I don't expect either team to get hammered or anything like that. I do think it'll be quite a cagey affair, as I think a lot of our games will be from now until the end of the season, because every game is a cup final now, especially the ones against teams in and around us. But yeah, as I said, Wolves are a team that we definitely need to be targeting as 3 points. For me, if we can't target this as 3 points, then I don't know where 3 points are ever going to come from. I think you've just got to look at all those 8 teams in this relegation fight, and I know we're 19th and obviously they're 13th for a reason because they've done better than us this season, but I just look at Wolves as a very winnable game. I do. And I will be disappointed if we don't get 3 points in this game. I've seen people say, obviously, is it a must not lose, or is this a definite one that we need to win? I mean, obviously I would take a point. Worst case scenario, I would rather get something from it rather than get nothing. I just feel like it'd just be another missed opportunity and another disappointing afternoon if we cannot get 3 points in this game. As I've said, I think Lopetegui has got them playing a bit better, but again, they're still in the same scenario as us, so he hasn't improved them as much as I think pundits and Wolves fans probably thought he would. When I saw that they were getting him, I was quite surprised that he agreed to go there. He did turn them down a few times in the beginning, didn't he? And then he finally agreed to join them. Um, but yeah, I watched them against Newcastle, and I just think they didn't create much in that game at all. And Lopetegui did try and change it quite a number of times in that second half, which I think confused the players. It was a back four, then a back five, then it was just three at the back. It was trying everything in his power to get them something from that game, which I understand, but I think he changed it quite too much and it confused the living daylights out of them. Do I hope he does that tomorrow? Yes, because the back four or the defence in general just didn't look at it for Wolves. Let's be honest, Newcastle were not at full strength. They weren't as good as they can be in that game, and they still managed to get that win over the line. So this is definitely a game that Leeds United should be targeting. Julie's in the building as well. Evening, Julie. Hiya, Charlie. Ready for 3 points tomorrow, hopefully. Yep, I've seen it on Facebook about the Palace game. Moved to Sunday. Don't know the kickoff time. Oh, well, I think that's the one at home, isn't it? I'll be there regardless, obviously, because I've got season ticket. I'll be there whenever it is. So that's not a concern for me. But yeah, on to this game then. Um, Obviously, Tyler Adams being injured is a huge blow for Leeds United. 100%. Even though I on the other side of that coin, I do think that this might be unpopular in the chat, but I do believe that Tyler Adams has not been great lately. And I am actually quite excited and intrigued to see what Grazia does with the midfield. If it's a double pivot, I expect it to be Weston McKennie and Mark Rocker. If it's a midfield three, is he going to play Mark Rocker and maybe Darko Jebe a little slightly deeper and allow Weston McKennie to roam forward, or is he going to play Mark Rocker and Weston McKennie with Brendan Aronson slightly in front of them? I don't know. I would love to see Darko Jebe have a start in this team. I don't think Brendan Aronson is offering the same things that he probably did at the start of the season. Obviously, he did get that. Well, it was an own goal, but he contributed to that winning goal against Wolves on the opening day. And I've seen people say, he played well against them on the first game. But let's be honest, a lot has happened since that first game. It's gone downhill very quick since then. I do think Aronson will start in this game. I think Jack Harrison will start in this game. And I also think Patrick Bamford will start in this game. I can understand Bamford because I don't think Rodrigo's 100%. If Rodrigo's by some miracle is 100%, I would be firing Rodrigo straight in because it's desperate times at the minute. Sinistera, I think we can afford to maybe keep him on the bench for this one and bring him on with actually quite a bit left in the game rather than just 30 seconds. I want to see Nonto in for Somerville because Somerville has not been at it either. As I said, I did do a predicted 11 video on the channel last night, guys. If you haven't already, go and check that out. But yeah, I would like to see Nonto coming because we saw it against Brighton, guys. The guy comes on and he changes the game. He stretches the play. He allows space for other Leeds United players to get into. He draws defenders to him, and he causes back fours a lot of issues. So why is he not been playing him a lot? Is he thinking because he's a young player and he wants a bit more experience? Which, on one hand, I can understand, but I think Nonto has definitely proved that he can play in the Premier League against anyone. He scored at Old Trafford. He assisted at Anfield. That night against Aston Villa, yes, we lost, but the pundits were talking him up big time. Nonto has proven he can definitely play in this league. So 100% I would have Nonto in the team. Hit me up in the comments, guys. What would your 11 be? And why? Because I do think if Grazia can pick the best 11 based on obviously injuries and such, I do definitely think we can get something in this game 100%. Oh, I've already flashed that comment up from Julie. 8-Ball Ali's in the building. How we doing, my friend? We can only keep accepting a draw for so long. Yep, agreed. We need some wins eventually. And the longer we go without a win, the more pressure will be on the lads with every game we fail to win. Yep, I couldn't agree more. We're running out of games now. I think it's 12, including this Wolves game that we've got left. I mean, come on. I mean, we've still got to play Arsenal away. Still got to play against Liverpool, I believe. Yeah. City, Newcastle, Spurs. We've still got to play these teams, and this is what I mean about the teams in and around us, guys. If we can't be targeting teams that are in and around us for wins, then I don't know who we can target. Wolves, they're a decent side, but they've not set the world alight. They're definitely a team that can be beaten. And I actually think our style of play, our pressing style of play, can cause this Wolves defence a lot of issues, because when Newcastle pressed them last week, they couldn't cope with it. And I do think at times Leeds United's press can be very effective. So hopefully it can be as effective as it has been tomorrow, because 100% we can definitely get something in this game, guys. 100%. 100%. Right, ball Ali's in again. I'm hoping we play three in midfield and let whichever one has the ball be free to pass it or carry it forward, knowing we'll still have a double pivot behind him. Yeah, 100%, mate. Which is why I think that if we do play a midfield three, I think it'll be Rocker and McKennie sitting slightly deeper. I think McKennie will still probably roam forward a bit, but I think they'll play slightly deeper. I think it'll be probably Aronson in front of them. I'd like to see McKennie in the advanced role with maybe Xerbi sitting with Rocker, but I don't think he'll play Xerbi in this game. I know he said that he's looking at him and Archie Gray, who has signed his first professional contract today. Big congratulations to Archie Gray. One for the future there. But I just can't see him using them. I just can't. Maybe as subs, potentially, but I definitely can't see him starting in this game 100%. So I'm just looking at my notes, guys. I do apologise. As I've said, if we pick our best 11, we can definitely get something against Wolves. Wolves are a weird team, really, because they kind of get results when you least expect them to. The one against Spurs of a week. I mean, I actually had an acca on that day, and I did have Wolves to beat Spurs, but that was just because Spurs are just Spursy, aren't they? But on paper, Wolves shouldn't have won that game. Really, Spurs have a much better squad than them. They've picked up results again when you least expect it. They've got a decent team, but I do think that midfield of theirs is aging quite a lot. It's an old midfield, and I think we can definitely get the better of them in midfield, which is why, actually, as much as Adams has been poor, he'd have been great in this game, I think, because I think his energy, tackling, ball winning in midfield, I think could have been a huge attribute. Obviously, there's Ruben Neves for them, who I think's a really good player. But other than Ruben Neves, there's João Moutinho, Pedro Neto, Pedence, Trincao, Adama Traore, who he actually scored that goal against Spurs, didn't he? But let's be honest, the guy just looks like he's on steroids. And look, he's obviously a decent player. Otherwise, he wouldn't have played for Barcelona on loan. He wouldn't be applying his trade in the best league in the world if he wasn't a good footballer. He is, but I think again, his end product is questionable sometimes, and obviously he'll probably be coming up against Junior Firpo. That'll be a interesting battle, to say the least, won't it, guys? Hit me up in the comments as well, guys. Let's get some more comments in the chat. It'll be good to have more of a conversation about this preview. I really enjoy interacting with everyone. I really do. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm on the road to 3,000 subs. If you could do me a solid, hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot. Smash a like on the stream. It really helps get it out there. Share it with your friends, your family, your neighbours, whoever. And hit that notification bell so that you're aware of when I'm uploading. There's plenty of content on the Chatting Leeds channel, so make sure that you keep it locked. So then, as I've said numerous times, I'll probably keep saying it as well up until the end of this stream, but this is a game that for me, we have to win this game. Obviously, it depends on other results. Hopefully, if the worst case is to happen tomorrow and we do lose, hopefully the other teams that are sort of closer to us can lose as well. I'll actually check the fixtures while I'm live here. Obviously, Forest are playing Newcastle tonight, aren't they? At home. Forest are decent at home as well. So hopefully Newcastle can do us a favour there. But obviously tomorrow you've got Villa against Bournemouth. and it's at Villa, so hopefully, you'd say that should be a Villa win. Brentford, Leicester at Brentford. You'd fancy Brentford, but again, that could be a weird old game. Obviously, Fulham against Liverpool's postponed because of the FA Cup. Southampton are at home to Spurs, so you'd expect Spurs to do us a favour there. But again, Spurs are Spurs, aren't they? And you just never know. And then Chelsea Everton is the late kickoff at Stamford Bridge. If that was at Everton, I'd be a little bit more nervous. Chelsea, since they beat us, ironically, have turned a bit of a corner. Obviously, we qualified for the Champions League, beat Leicester last week as well. So I'm hoping Chelsea can do us a favour there. But again, guys, it's getting to that point at season where none of the results are 100% predictable. I mean, I have an Acker on tomorrow, and I mean, I'll share my bet with you. Again, I have put a bet on 2 championship games as well, just to make it a bit interesting. But I've gone Villa win, Brentford win, Tottenham win, and Chelsea win for the Premier League. And I have gone with Luton to beat Sunderland and Blackpool to beat Coventry in the Championship as well. But obviously, that doesn't concern us, at least yet, anyway. Oh, God, Charlie, don't say that. Let's get into some more comments. Kevin, we have to attack Wolves, Charlie. Can't sit back against Wolves. We have to play like we are possessed. Yeah, 100%. I think it'll definitely be a different style of play to what it was against Brighton. I know a lot of fans, myself included, whilst I was at the game, was quite frustrated with the approach to Brighton. But again, it got us a point. And again, if we have to sit back and watch awful football but pick up points for the rest of the season, I can happily accept that. And thank you to Kevin for reaching out to me on Twitter today as well. It was good to interact with you on Twitter as well, my friend. 8-Ball Ali's in the building again. Aronson has no end product. Yeah, Harrison still hot and cold. McKennie still had no end product either. I'd play Rocker, Xabi and Greenwood. Interesting. We'd have more balls into the box and they'd be better quality. Yeah, I'll say I agree that Aronson has no end product, 100%. Harrison is still hot and cold. McKennie, I get what you mean about him not really having the end product yet, but I think, he's only played a handful of games. I do think McKennie can be a big asset to us from now till the end of the season. I agree with JB and Rocket. I personally don't agree with Sam Greenwood. For me, he shouldn't be anywhere near this squad, in my opinion, anyway. I think the only reason why he's in it is just to bring him on for set pieces if needed, because for me, other than that goal against Bournemouth at Ellen Road, he's done nothing in the first team for me. I'm not saying that it can't work out for him Monday, but at the minute, I don't think it will, and I think he would benefit massively from a loan to the Championship, in my opinion. By the way, Cresswell is being called up for England under 21. He's tearing it up at Millwall lately. Yeah, I think obviously he started the season off well at Millwall, didn't he? But then he did go through a little bit of a rough patch there. But now he seems to have turned it around. And yeah, it'd be ironic if Millwall got promoted and we went down. But we're not talking about going down yet. We're staying positive, aren't we? For as long as we can, anyway. That's yeah. God, I don't even want to think about Championship football next season. I have renewed my season ticket, even though there was an increase. I just don't want to think about Championship football, guys. I'm sure you lot are all the same. Now, a few of you have kind of touched upon it, obviously, with certain individuals, but we do need to see improvements from a lot of these players moving forward. Yes, Jack Harrison scored against Brighton, but for me, other than that, it was an absolute shambles of a performance. So unconfident at times, and I don't know why, because he's got such a high ceiling. He's a very, very good player, and he's done really good things for Leeds. But you can just tell within the first 5-10 minutes what Jack Harrison has turned up. Just like in general, you can always find out what Leeds United has turned up within the first 5 to 10 minutes or so. And I just think if we can add that bit of quality, that bit of composure and calmness in the final third, I think we can have huge joy, not just in this game, but against all the other teams in and around us. I mean, come on, we've got Arsenal away after this one, first game back. after the international break. I don't usually like to use the term free hit, but for me, that is a free hit. If we get anything in that game, it will be a miracle. So I'm not even really focusing on that one at the minute, guys. I'm really not. Um, but this game, and then obviously there's the Arsenal one, and then we've got Palace. No, we've got Forest first on the Tuesday night, and then Palace back to back at Ellen Road Tuesday and Saturday. Palace have obviously sacked Patrick Vieira today. Have they left it too late to do it? For me, it'll turn out to either be really good for us and they'll get worse, or they'll get someone in who's really good and he'll turn the fortunes around. That probably won't happen though, as I have just seen on Twitter before coming live that Roy Hodgson is in talks to go back to Crystal Palace. So God help them. God help them. I saw that Jesse Marsh was linked with the Crystal Palace job as well. I think he's just going to get linked with any Premier League vacancy that comes up now, in my opinion. But yeah, Manjeet's in the building. We need to start taking a few risks in the final third. Yeah, 100%. Have a shot outside of the box. Have a shot outside of the box. Why have we just lost this ability to shoot from outside the box? I just don't understand it. There's been so many times recently where you just go and shoot, just shoot, have a pop. Just if you don't score, fine, but it troubles the keeper, it puts the defense on edge. Have a shot, but we're scared, so we always try and walk it in the net, and that's why it's so frustrating and painful to watch at times. Honestly, it really is frustrating. Turning point tomorrow, 3 points coming. Javier's got the lad sorted. Yorkie lad, I am loving your optimism there, my friend. Really, really, I love that from you, mate. I do. Hopefully, it is a turning point. But we thought that against Southampton, didn't we? Right, that can kick us on. Then we got beat by Chelsea, and then we've drawn with Brighton. For me, if we can beat Wolves, a team that are actually in and around us, I think it could spur us on. The Arsenal game is what it is. We're probably going to lose that. Let's just be real. But the Forest impact, that is one of the biggest weeks in our recent history. I think someone said it on a previous stream the other week. This is that will be the biggest week in our recent history, will that? Because if we can get 6 points out of those two games, I think we'll be fine. Genuinely. Because I think it's that tight, we'll pull away. Because you're picking points up against other teams in and around you, you'll rise and they will fall. So it'll just be like that from week to week. So hopefully Leeds can just have a bit of bottle, have some balls. I'll just say it like that. Take the game to teams, especially Wolves tomorrow, and Forest, Palace. We've still got Leicester at home to play and Bournemouth away as well. Take the game to them. Don't be afraid. Take some risks, like Manjeet said, and hopefully we will start to reap the rewards. But we need to really start picking up some points because we're running out of games, guys. We are, and it's if we don't win this and other results don't go for us, if Southampton do the unthinkable at home and beat Spurs, which let's be honest is possible with Spurs at the minute, then we are doomed. Let's just put it that way. Greenwood's played less than the main three and provided more balls into the box than all three added together. Fair enough. It's no good complaining of lack of quality balls for strikers and not use players that give that. Yeah, and again, I'm not actually disagreeing with you there because I actually do agree. I just think overall, yeah, it provides that, which would be a big help. But I just don't think Greenwood's all in all as has got that quality. I don't. And again, I appreciate that that's your opinion. But for me, Sam Greenwood should not be starting in the Premier League. He shouldn't. I think we're better than that. We don't need to use young kids who have barely got any experience. He has got a bit. He has played a fair bit in the Premier League. I won't lie, but I would rather have a midfield three of obviously, Adams when he's fit, McKennie and Rocker. We've seen that once at Fulham in the cup, and it was hard to gauge how it kind of worked out, really. But obviously, I know we lost the game, but I actually felt we played really well in that game at Fulham. I mean, it's actually given me confidence for when we go there in the league, and play them. Um, Obviously, there's Jorginho Rute as well, who I've not really discussed on this. I don't think he'll start tomorrow. But then again, you never know. I think we need to be seeing more from him. Obviously, 35 million quid. I know it's not his fault, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be paying 35 million for a player that gets like 10 minutes a game. And, you know, for me, he should be starting. Grazia has said that he isn't a number 9, so why not play him on the right and Nonto on the left with Bamford through middle tomorrow? You could do that. You could quite easily do that. He does come across to me as a player that is better out on the wing, and I would be more than happy with trying him there. If it doesn't work, you can take him off at half time. It is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if the front three was Somerville, Bamford, and Harrison, which for me would just be worst case scenario because Somerville for me has been very poor of late and not up to standard at all. Trying to flash this comment up. What's up with my mouse? If Javi starts Nunto, Rodrigo, and Cine front three, I see as 1-2 up by half time. Yeah, I can fully get behind that, mate. I don't think that will be the front three. I think Rodrigo and Cine are maybe not 100% match fit to start. We might see them at some point for maybe the last 15, 20 minutes, which would be good. Given that scenario of them not being fit, my front three would be Nonto, Bamford, and Harrison. I would have Harrison on the left, probably Nonto on the right, and Bamford through the middle. Or even if you want to put Harrison on right, I'd rather have that than Somerville at the minute. Somerville going forward, his end product and his composure just hasn't been there of late. He had that purple patch before World Cup where he did score a few goals and he was playing well, and he deserved his place in the team at that point. But I think since then he's massively dropped off. He doesn't help out defensively. You know, you saw Adams, you know, you saw Adams, you saw Ayling both having a go at him in that game for not tracking back and helping his man. So, you know, for me, he should be dropped. If Rutter gets on the right in place of Cree, he'd get back helping Ayling more. Again, you must have read my mind there, mate. Yeah, 100%. I've seen Rutter help out defensively in the appearances that he's played. So yeah, again, I would rather have anybody on that right hand side who is actually able to get back and help out defensively, because I think, especially against Brighton last week, Luke Ayling struggled against Mitoma. It was probably his worst game for a while from Luke Ayling. I think a lot of that was just down to the fact that Mitoma is just world class for me. And Luke Ayling really struggled, especially with that ball over top. Really struggled. Paul Smith's in the building. How we doing, Paul? All right. Calgary calling, Charlie. We need to win and will win this. Explosion time for our forwards. 3-1 to Leeds, marching on together. Calgary White. Yeah, 3-1. I'm liking your score prediction there. And yeah, I do agree. I do think this one is a game that Leeds need to win, especially with Arsenal up next. You know, because if we lose this and lose to Arsenal, you know, will Southampton make up some ground in that time? You never know. And people say that you shouldn't have a look at other results, but you're obviously going to if you're in this predicament, aren't you? It is what it is. Anyway, Cree scores when played centrally. Surprisingly poor on the right. Yeah, 100%. To say he's a winger, for me, he has been poorer when he's played out wide. I get what you mean about playing him centrally, but I think you'd rather probably have someone like an Aronson, like a McKennie, even a Xerbi, really, playing in that more advanced role. I just think Cree would probably be better out from the right. Out on the left, cutting in on his right foot. But yeah, I just think he's been really poor of late, guys. I do, and I've asked this on previous streams, but obviously I might just keep asking from week to week. At this minute in time, who do you think the bottom three teams will be? Because for me, it changes every week. Some weeks after Leeds have maybe been beat or played bad, I think we're in there. Some games, even when it's not maybe gone well for us, but we've played well, I think right Leeds have potential to get out of this. I'm flip flopping from week to week, guys. So again, I can see there's 30 of you in the building. That's really good to see, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It really helps me out and it helps get the video out there. Please subscribe if you're brand new to the channel as well. Plenty of content always on the Chatting Leeds channel. Hit that notification bell so that you're always aware of when I am uploading. And of course, get all of your thoughts in the chat, guys. We'll keep going for a little while longer whilst there's comments coming in. It's been a really good stream so far, guys. A lot of interaction, and I really do appreciate it. So yeah, obviously, let's get into some predictions for tomorrow then, before maybe some other comments come in and we have chats about other things. Score prediction and goal scorers. So obviously, we've seen Paul Smith put in 3-1 there. For me, score prediction. I don't know, because I don't think it's going to be 3-1, Paul. I can't lie. I would love that. I would. I don't think it'll be 3-1. I think it'll be a bit tighter than that. Obviously, the last time we travelled up to Molineux, we were 2-0 down at half time and we came out second half and beat them 3-2. That Luke Ayling winner in the last minute when he did the Robbie Keane tumble. So yeah, is it going to be chaotic like that again? Maybe. Obviously, the red card massively affected that game, didn't it? That night, it was a Friday night game as well. I remember. God, I hate doing predictions. I'll go 2-1. 2-1 Leeds. And my goal scorers, I'll go with, I think Bamford will score again if he plays. And then we'll go with Nonto as well. You've always got to plan for Leeds United to concede, because as much as the defence has got a lot better, I think Melier has been a bit questionable at times this season. Hopefully he can have a good game. Yorkie lad's in with 2-0. Kevin Otto is also in with 2-0. Fair enough. Manjeet saying, I'm hoping Notts Forest is the third team after Southampton and Bournemouth. Yeah, I do as well, given that they signed about 552 players. Manjeet's also said 2-0. There's a lot of 2-0s in the chat. A lot of 2-0s. Evening Charlie just got in. Jason, don't worry, mate. I'm sure you'll be able to watch the replay back, mate. I understand people have got lives, and that's absolutely fine. Enzo Francescoli is in the building. I've seen you in the chat before. Well, welcome back, my friend. Hoping it all clicks up front, Charlie, and we win 3-1. Another 3-1. Maybe a bit optimistic, but fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, I do think that is optimistic. You're not the only one that said 3-1. Obviously, Paul said it earlier as well. And I'm really liking the optimism from everyone in tonight's chat. We haven't had anyone saying a defeat yet, which is good. Like I said, I do think we'll win. I do. But I think it'll be. I think it's got potential to be a very nervous afternoon. Let's just put it that way. 8 Ball has also said 2-1 Nonto and Jaby to score. That'd be good, wouldn't it, to see Jaby get a goal on his first Premier League start if he starts. And on Darko Jaby, I think, from what, I'll be honest, I don't watch under 21s football. I just don't. But from what I've heard, I've heard that he's a very good player, and he's a ball carrier, a progressive passer, and he likes to obviously help the team out on transition, which is good to hear. So yeah, hopefully, even if he isn't on the score sheet, if he can get a start, hopefully he can play well. We've had that comment already, haven't we? Hill Football's also saying, ooh, I thought it was saying 2-0 Leeds. Hill Football's coming with the negativity. No, I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. I can fully appreciate why maybe some people aren't as confident. 2-0 Wolves, I can't see us beating Wolves. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I can appreciate that. I think Wolves away has always been a tricky fixture, even when we've come out on top like we did last year. Obviously, there was that game in the Carabao Cup earlier on this season at Molineux where they beat us 1-0. So even that was quite a cagey, tight affair. And Leeds had the likes of Darko Gyabi, Sonny Perkins, Matteo Joseph out as well, who's been called up to England as he qualifies to play for England under 20s or something. So big congratulations to him. And obviously, as I said earlier, Archie Gray as well, signing his first professional contract at the age of 17. Bright future ahead for that lad. Obviously, I know Javi said in his press conference that Archie Gray could feature, but I just don't think he will. And I wouldn't want him at the minute anyway. You know, he's 17 years old, and I know the likes of Nonto and stuff, they're 19 and they can cut it, but at least Nonto had some European experience, and he plays for Italy's first team, does Nonto. So obviously is a bright young talent is Archer Gray, but I wouldn't be 100% throwing him into any Premier League fixtures at the minute, because I just think it's too much to ask of a young lad. So that's pretty much all my points raised on tonight's match preview, guys. I think we're just going to leave it there now. We've been going for 40 minutes, so I think we'll just wrap it up there. There's not a right lot for me else to go into. As I said, I'm going 2-1 Leeds. There's been a lot of 2-0 Leeds in the chat. There's been a few 3-1s, and obviously Hill Football said 2-0 Wolves, and obviously I can completely appreciate that comment as well. But hopefully, fingers crossed, guys. Let's keep the faith until it's impossible for Leeds to stay up. Let's keep the faith. Hopefully, we can climb out of that bottom three tomorrow, and the league table can look a little bit healthier. Big up to everybody that's joined in and watched this match preview, and big up to everyone that has dropped a comment in and got involved. The interaction on the channel of late has been really good, really overwhelming to know that people are enjoying the content. As I say, plenty of content always on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel, guys. Hit that notification bell so that you always know when I'm uploading and going live. If you haven't already, I can see there's 22 of you in the building at the minute. Please smash that like button. It really helps get the video out there. Share it with your friends, your family, your neighbours, whoever. And obviously drop all of your comments in the comment section down below if you're watching the live stream after it's ended. Please, Leeds United, get 3 points. Please get 3 points. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, guys. I will be back on the channel tomorrow night. Sorry, not tomorrow night, actually. Tomorrow afternoon, I will be back with my live watch along. So if you're about at 2:45, I'll be going live from 2:45 for the game at Molineux. So make sure that you get involved in the chat as we watch the game together. And then obviously there'll be a match review after the game, which will be a pre-record. And then the final say will be back on Sunday evening live, where we go through the events of tomorrow's game. Phil Bailey, all the best from Canada, Charlie. Keep up the great work. Big thank you for watching all the way from Canada. Manjeet saying cheers, no problem. Honestly, really appreciating all of the love and support on the channel of late. As I said, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you at 2:45 tomorrow for the game, and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. Bye-bye.